The article that I chose for my mini research project was Achievement in Language Proficiency of Latino Students in Dual Language Programs and Native English Speakers, Fluent English, Previous ELLs and Current ELLs by Catherine Lindholm Leary and Anna Hernandez. The reason why I chose this is because, like I previously mentioned in my past videos, my campus is currently a dual language program, and I think that there's not sufficient research out there about the dual language, and I'm very interested to see how the years go, how the students progress over time. And what I like about this article is it examines the language proficiency and achievement outcomes of Latino students enrolled in the dual language program who varied by language proficiency. So, and the purpose was to measure and examine the achievement and language proficiency. So, what I implemented in my school was I went to a fourth grade class, and it's currently a Spanish class. They are not in dual language. My dual language campus only stops at third grade. So I wanted to see how the students were progressing with the dual language. The ones who were previously enrolled in third grade, now how are they doing in fourth grade? But in fourth grade, the thing is here in my campus, it's an all Spanish class. So what I did was, first of all, the reason why I chose this was I wanted to know, since I'm a fifth grade teacher, how my students are coming, what level are they coming at, what research do I need to do next year to prepare myself, Even though that we're in March, I want to start looking at my future students to see how I can help. How, if in the summer, if I could read a book, if I could do more research on how to help students move a level, become more English dominant, I am willing to do that. So I love this article because, first of all, we were talking, and I love how it says here, while research on these programs, such as the dual language programs, show they promote bilingualism, biliteracy, and achievement in native English and native Spanish speaking, there has been insufficient empirical data, particularly about subgroups of ELL students. So what I did in my research was I took 10 students from the fourth grade class, 5 girls, 5 boys, 50 and 50, just like the study. And they were all economically disadvantaged, and they're all from Latino parents. So what I did was I got them and I did 2 questions only. I know this was a research, but I had a very short time and I could only do 2 questions since it was a short week. So what I did was, first I wanted to investigate parent education. Out of those 10 students, 5 girls and 5 boys, 7 parents only finished high school. All of those Latino parents. 3 of them only went to college. Very, very interesting. We're talking about more than only 7 parents finished high school and only 3 went to college. That's an eye opener. So we can infer that further education is not being role modeled in their house. One of the measures that I liked from this study, and I took it, was I love how they said the attitudes towards education. I only asked the students, would you like to be bilingual one day? 6 said yes, and 4 said no. Well, and then I look at them and I said, well, why? Because they find it difficult to learn a new language. And then it goes back to the lack of consistency of the implementation of the dual language program. Since it only stopped at third, these students went to fourth grade with a Spanish class. So all of them got lost. And I told them, do you guys like school? And 8 said, yes, we like school. We love PE first and the classes. And 2 said, not really. I'd rather just stay at home and play. Which was like, all right. And another measure that I took was I looked at their telpas. And I only looked at the speaking part, not the writing, nor the speaking, reading, not the reading. And so I looked at third, the previous years, and then I looked at fourth grade. And since we're doing telpas throughout the semester, I was rating with my coworker, and we rated that 6 were only advanced, an advanced level, 3 were still intermediate, and 1 was a beginner. Mind you that these 10 students already have been here 3 years already in the US. So it was very interesting to me that 6 advanced. So maybe the dual language program did work to advance them a level, but we still have 4 students, 3 that stayed the same, and 1 that went down. So I'm still having my doubts in the dual language program and its implications. I would assume that all of them were at advanced level, but in this case they didn't. They stayed the same. And I was reading this, and I loved what it said at the end, but I couldn't apply to it in my school. At the end, they were talking about the RFEP students. It says here they had outstanding scores. They were outscoring their native English speakers in English mainstream programs. And this data clearly shows that ELL students and heritage speakers experience more advantages when they participate in programs that integrate their heritage or home language and culture into their schooling. So I do agree to a certain point that a bilingual program per se, or the dual language program, does work, but I think there's still insufficient data. Since not all of the 10 students advanced the level, I still have my doubts. Even though, yes, it was more than half. It was 6 students that did advance the level. However, nobody's in advanced high, in the highest advanced level, nearly compared to the English mainstream program. Maybe because they only have 2 years of the dual language, a lot of them only have 3 years in the US. Maybe if it was implemented before, since kinder or pre-K, it would make a difference. But at this point, if a student has been here in the US for 3 years and have only had 2 dual language years that they have been in school, only 6 advanced out of 10. A little bit more than half. I still think we still need to do a lot of research on dual language programs throughout the time. And I found this very interesting. And